Hi, I'm Mac McCarthy, and I help people with their breakups. And today I have another breakup story to share. And if you have a breakup story you want to share, please visit writemac.com, WRITEMAC.com. Send your story, and I could give you my take in a YouTube video just like this. If you'd like a private video response, that's available paid. And if you'd like to book a live coaching session, talk to me on Skype, Google Hangouts, FaceTime, really unpack your breakup, that's available too. If you like this video, like it. If you don't like it, that's fine. If you want to make a comment to help this individual out, please put it below. And if you want to subscribe, hit the red button. You know that already. Okay. Dear Mac, title. He gives me the title. Or excuse me. I'm not sure. Okay. We broke up before she left to go work USA. So in the USA. Dealing with a mutual breakup. So we don't see a lot of these. A lot of times someone feels like someone left them. I hope you are doing well. I was in a relationship with my girlfriend for 3 years and 8 months. Okay, so you're pretty precise. We broke up in 16th October 2019. Again, precise. Maybe you're an accountant or an engineer. So 7 days ago, look at you like your numbers. There's how many numbers are there? The relationship was hardly ever sour during this time and can honestly say the breakup was mutual due to the fact that she's going to work in the USA for about 6 to 12 months. Well, that's tough. Regardless of how long you've been together, long-distance relationships with job changes or university changes affect relationships, and there's got to be decisions made. My ex-girlfriend lived with me for the majority of the relationship, which is basically from when we started dating from February 2016, and one could say this was my first serious relationship if we note that I've been in plenty of relationships before my time as an 18-year student at varsity. I was not interested in a relationship because I knew I was not ready to commit, enjoyed playing the field and enjoying my time with friends and chatting up girls at clubs. Okay, so you know who you are, you've had a good time, you've had your fun, you know what you want. It's nice that you had some good times and embraced being single before, getting locked down. My ex-girlfriend moved to Florida for a job opportunity to save some money and figure out what she wants to do with her life and how she will complete her studies, as she's been procrastinating with her studies for more than 2 to 3 years. She's currently 28. I'm 28 years old. Well, it sounds right there like you're in two different places. Sounds like you know who you are, what you want to do. You're very direct. You're very precise, and here you have someone for 2 or 3 years that's procrastinating on their studies. Has that bothered you? Have you been giving them shit about that? I've till some extent figured out my life and have working goals, even though I have my own life obstacles I have to deal with. I understand my ex-girlfriend's frustration and that she needs to find her way in life, and I in some way motivated her temporarily to move to Florida to figure her things out, as firmly I believe one has to find their own inner happiness and be independent and not be dependent on others to continuously make them happy. Well, that's a great outlook, man. I agree with you. You're a mature individual. My question to you is that mutually we broke up. I live in South Africa. Okay, cool. Just had a friend move to Cape Town, actually, and she now lives in Florida. So that's pretty far away. Different time zones. We now live in different time zones, but regardless of that, we have not communicated as I would have thought via WhatsApp or FaceTime. Well, I'll say just from being in a long-distance relationship that was brief, the time zones affect it. Absolutely. It makes it more difficult because one person's tired and the other person's just waking up. It doesn't help when your schedules aren't lined up. It doesn't help you get your FaceTime and WhatsApp in. Absolutely. It's just another hurdle. And long LDRs have a shelf life, okay? And the fact that she's 24, at the peak of her looks, and you're 28, it's more difficult for you guys to hold back from your intimacy and just talk on FaceTime, because you're not going to be able just to get on a bus or a train or in a car and visit each other. You literally have to plan. Could be a bit expensive. So, I mean, the distance is going to be the elephant in the room, right? You can't overcome that at this point. I have to add that we are still friends and that there's no bad blood between us. Well, that'll only serve you if you possibly want to get back in the future. And the fact that you had a mutual breakup with not a lot of angst, again, This is only going to serve you moving forward. The breakup for both of us are still surreal, and what would you advise to be on the no contact rule? You still haven't told me what you want. So you keep talking about how great it was, not how great it is, but the mutual breakup, this, that, and the other. But do you want to get back together? Are you okay waiting a year? So I'm a little bit confused on what it is you want. What would you advise to be the contact rule? Well, the fact that you mutually broke up, you have no problems with each other. I don't know why you couldn't talk sparingly here and there. If it hurts you too much and you want to move forward and you want to start new relationships, then probably go into no contact. Social media standing. If you're okay with seeing her social media and the possibility that she might post something with meeting a new guy or a new group of friends and that won't affect you, then that's up to you. And moving on. Well, if you're 28 years old, you got this high level of confidence, I would say I would give being single again a chance, and be open to the fact that in 6 months to 12 months, leave the door open that you guys can contact each other without being needy with each other, without blaming each other, and with the ability to possibly share what's going on in your lives without feeling guilty or jealous on both ends. Does that make sense? I mean, I've been in a long distance situation where we lived about an 8-hour drive and a 1.5-hour flight away, and we saw each other about once a month. But on the flip side, we kept it casual, friends with benefits. We didn't ask questions about what we were doing. We were allowed to go out with other people. It was very, very casual, but we both liked it that way. None of us crossed the line. And then when we would visit each other, we were exclusive. And so you can make that however you want to make it, but your distance is so far apart, I don't think you can see each other once a month, right? So I'd say that in 3 months or 6 months or whatever it is, if you want to visit each other and in that moment, date each other and see how that goes, that's fine. But on the flip side, you got to get really clear with what you're okay with. Another question is that I know the emotional breakup feelings are creeping up on me and I need advice. What I need to do to avoid doing something stupid as men generally do once they feel emotional about their ex-partners. Well, don't call her when you're emotional because everything's going to flood. You've already approved the breakup as being okay with you. If you're able to talk to her in a calm, neutral place where, like I said, you're not jealous or needy, well, then you can have those conversations. But right now, you haven't really conveyed to me what you want. If you want her back, or you're just saying, look, I know the distance between South Africa and Florida is not going to work long term, and so I better get on deck because the next 6 months or a year, just talking on FaceTime and maybe visiting once is not enough for me. And if that's the case, then you need to, deal with the fact that 3 years, 8 months in a good relationship, you're going to hurt a bit. You're going to have to lick your wounds. You're going to have to, deal with that. It's going to be tougher than you thought it would be. When you were breaking up and you were like, oh yeah, it's all good, it's okay, you didn't realize what it was going to feel like. I'll just say this, if you had a good relationship, she's going through the same things. But ideally to me, with you guys in your 20s, could you take a step back from being exclusive and casually talk and flirt from time to time, but not have something that's so strict? I hope the information provided is enough that you can shed some light. You are welcome to make a YouTube video if you deem it sufficient. It is sufficient. Regardless of my story, I appreciate your videos and advice. Well, thank you kindly, buddy. So I had a few questions from this if you want to follow up on that, or if you want to dig a little deeper, it might be worth your time to do a live coaching session. Because 3 years and 8 months, it's a little bit more difficult than, even though you had a mutual breakup, you still didn't know what was coming once it hit you. Because I remember out of my 5-year breakup, I was like, damn, I knew the breakup was coming. I knew we had to break up. And once I was alone in the room for a few nights, I was like, wow, this is distant. So the fact that you guys lived together and she left your mutual house, that's tough. And so one of the other things about that is change your routine. I've talked about this in other videos, so that you're not home at 8 or 8:30 at night. You're out playing rugby or doing something that you really enjoy, because there's going to be trigger times when you're really going to miss that individual, because those are the quality moments. So that would be a quick thing that I would recommend Otherwise, you're just going to be bouncing the walls. So I hope that helps you. Please visit writemac.com if you have a breakup story you want to share, if you'd like to book a live coaching session.